At the center of the universe, at the border between the light and the dark, stands Castle Grayskull. For countless ages, the heroes of Grayskull have defended the universe against the forces of evil. Walk through the Hall of Living Pictures and learn the history and mystery of the Masters of the Universe. Dive deep into the mythology of Eternia, Etheria, and more. For those who know the stories of Grayskull will come the power to be supreme, the power to be all-knowing, the power to be Legends of Grayskull.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 55 of Legends of Grayskull, the live fan podcast where we discuss the history, the mystery, the magic, and mythology of He-Man, She-Ra, Eternia, Etheria, Nordor, Primus, New Adventures, Old Adventures, Ladybird, UK Annuals, Golden, Mini Comics, anything and everything you can think of with that He-Man, She-Ra, Masters of the Universe, Princess of Power, that Mattel logo in the corner. I'm Matthew Dooch. I'm here with Sean Scavarna. Sean, how are we doing today?
Oh, it's lagging, but I'm here. It literally was the choppiest intro, and I missed it.
Well, I hope that you're catching up now. You're looking better, so
I'm catching up. Yeah, that's story of my life. I'm catching up.
you're all the way from Grayskull there.
Yeah, I figured I'd come, by way of Eternia today for the special episode.
Very special. We've got some fun stuff today. Now, we'll give everybody a chance to get. I already see Manny Gonzalez is here. Skelly Vader has joined us. Welcome, guys.
Aha.
So we'll give everybody a few minutes here to jump in, let everyone get the notification we're live. We had quite a bit of participation throughout the week, which was nice to see. So we got a lot of people with points already for this giveaway. Sean, you got any news you want to go over while everyone's kind of filtering in, getting their seats?
What was there? So, yeah, apparently, the one thing I was reading recently was Kevin Smith said we might have some news this week, and that didn't happen. Yeah. So, unfortunately, the news is there's no news.
Maybe next week?
I don't know. He was saying it was supposed to happen last weekend, right. I want to say, or like the beginning of the week, and still nothing. So I don't know. But the one thing that I'll say on here that I know it blew up for a little while, and there have been people who have been trying to to put the fire out, is he did say that Mark, not M-A-R-K for Hamill, M-A-R-C for Bernardin, had a whole episode of his own, which I know he mentioned when he first started working on the show, and a lot of people took it that we were having a full-on Skeletor episode, and then that went all over the place, and now it turns out, no, bring it back, Mark Bernardin, not Mark Hamill. We are, it's the beauty of what we have here is anything is going to be run with because people are that hungry for this.
It's kind of odd to even word it that way to begin with because we knew Mark wrote an episode. We've known that since the beginning.
Exactly.
So it's kind of weird that he threw out there like, yeah, Mark's got a whole episode to himself, and meaning Bernardin. So I don't know if he's really...
Yes.
I there's a part of me that goes... Like you said, you're trying to put out a fire now, and you're trying to shift it, is what it seems to me. Like, oh, no, I really meant this. But, yeah, we'll see. We need something. Throw something out there. What's up, Joe Amato? Joe Amato has joined us in the chat, itching to get his hands on some prizes today. Yeah, I guess we'll just kind of start going over that here. So we had a lot of people participate here. I'm going to run down the list now. I'm trying to get them in order. So throughout the week, I've been doing all sorts of giveaways and quizzes and questions and puzzles and everything on the Facebook page, the Instagram. I went live on YouTube. Um,
Your handle needs to
the
be
Riddler.
the Riddler.
Well, first, yeah, let's go over the prizes first. So, what are we playing for today? So, top three at the end of all our questions will get their choice of the Power and the Honor Foundation Catalog Volume 1, courtesy of Josh Van Pelt. This one is mine, but the one you get will be brand new, unopened. But it's a beautiful book. You also have a choice of a PowerCon exclusive Origin She-Ra, mint in package, never opened. Hopefully it's in there. Or the Masters of the Universe Mega Constructs Panther and Point Dread set. Which is also very I love these sets. The artwork alone is fantastic. I haven't kept any of the boxes yet, but I've always been tempted to. But then I'm like, I'll just be a pack rat.
Like me.
So let me run down the standings so far. So we do have Skelly Vader on top with 3 points. We have Manny Gonzalez with 2. Andrew Bowers has 2. David Clark has 2. The Toy Huntress, Rachel Rodriguez, has 1. Lacey Dean has 1.
Nice.
Yuka has 1. Mark Taylor has 2. Kelly Randor Edmonds has 1. Dan Rice has 1. RJ Clark has 1. And Joe Amato has 1. Welcome, Jason Havlick. Thank you for joining us. Let me add you to the list here. So we're gonna ask some questions. We've actually got 12 questions total, 3 questions in 4 different categories, and we'll go through them one by one. First person that I see, so it's gonna go by my chat here. I know sometimes YouTube and everything with the chat can be really weird. You'll think you're before someone else, but it's got to be the one that shows up on mine first. That person will get a point, and then they'll have their choice of prizes between the She-Ra, the book, and the Mega Construct set. Easy peasy, right? Joe Amato, you saved the best for last. No, I always put the losers at the bottom. I think he used to have a show once upon a time, didn't he? I haven't seen anything from them in a while.
Them's fighting words, I think. I don't know. I mean, it's like we're on good terms with Steve and Jeremy for the most part, but it's like you want to start something between podcasts now. Oh boy,
that's fans of power thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're more the hey, let's just sit down and talk, and they do have a little more fire in them sometimes. So yeah, I could see it.
All right. So quick rundown of the 4 categories. So we've got Eternian History 101. This is just questions about the world of He-Man and She-Ra. We've got toys, which are obviously all related to the figure lines. And then we've got quotations. This is a fun one. I will actually play a clip from an episode, and the first person to get the correct title of the episode gets it. A short clip, about 20 seconds. So, and then Orko's Magic Hat, and that's just kind of a grab bag, just questions we came up with that didn't fit in anywhere else. So,
and for everyone that somebody misses, an Eternian villager has to die because the Riddler wouldn't have it any other way. Riddle dooch this.
All right, so I think we're good to go here. Trying to wait for some other people to filter in, but this looks like it might be it. We'll see. Maybe some people will jump in here. We'll take our time going through here. So Well, I'll throw it out to the chat room. What category do you want to start with? Start us off, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth from there. You get while they're answering that, we got about a 30-second delay. You get your Big Bad Toy Store shipment? Yeah, mine came today too. It was waiting for me when I got off work. I haven't.
You got the whole wave.
I got
right?
the whole wave.
You got. See, I only did Leo and Shredder, so lucky.
Well, I
was tempted, but I couldn't do more.
It's not really lucky. So. It's I didn't pre-order soon enough, and I had to get the whole wave if I wanted my Leonardo. So.
Well, you made out better than I did today. I got something from eBay, and I was very unhappy with it. No. So yeah, it's a sad day here at Chez Guevara.
Oh, it wasn't Natasha, was it?
No. She came fine. There, she was completely fine. But I have I've been dabbling in a few Marvel Legends that are the uniquer ones, the ones that like they have a connection. And there was somebody who had it was claimed to be here. It's out of the box. It's still in the plastic, like the plastic backing for the figure. And it was a Colossus who comes in a Juggernaut Colossus 2-pack. I just wanted the Colossus out of it. $59 plus shipping, right? So I get it, and it's in a box this big. Just to show off the box here.
Okay.
This box is at least a head shorter than the figure. So actually here is the figure. So here's the box, here's the figure. All right.
They put it like
there you go.
Sideways?
From his. They jammed him in there, and they messed with his knees. He showed up looking like this in the box, and all jumbled together and all this stuff. And his head was like this.
Oh, God.
He looked like a transformer. And now, like a lot of the ratchet joints are, they're done because of how he was in this thing. So I'm reaching back out to the seller. I'm like, well, I want this fixed because I did not expect you to send this to me this way. Not to take it on a whole big term, but basically I'm very underwhelmed with how it was sent to me. And I'm like, yeah, I've never had somebody do something like that when I've paid, $70 for something. Like, come on. You got to be kidding. Ridiculous. So I'm not buying from that seller again. That's all there is.
All right. So.
And I'm working on something.
Skelly
but anyway,
Vader said toys. So we'll start there. That was the first one I saw.
Okay.
And Joe did say that he was falling asleep watching me open my turtle, and I'm a rich sucker. So now that Joe's asleep, let's hurry up with the questions so that he misses them all. God, these turtles are gorgeous. I'm glad I did jump on. No steak tonight, Joe. I did have went out to Hacienda last night, so I don't know what I'm gonna have tonight. It's a little early still, but enjoy your bologna. Get some Miracle Whip and some white bread. It's great.
Miracle Whip and bologna. Oh, that sounds like something at least back in the old cartoon, not the new ones.
Absolutely. But, so I think you have toys, right?
I do. I am the toys guy.
Which one are we doing first?
So first question. Question number 1, and we're gonna need a visual aid for this question.
Go ahead and start reading, and I'll throw it up. And
all right. What vintage figure is this first concept art of?
All right, it's up there. We'll wait a little bit here. I am watching on the delay, so if anybody else jumps into the chat or into this here, just comment down below so I can add you to the list or know you're here if you've already won a point or two. And tell us who this is the concept art.
Yeah, I was gonna reread the question. You got me, beat me to the punch. But yeah, you threw this at me last night, And I threw two answers at you, both of which were
Well, I've
wrong.
got three Spikors in the chat now. Joe, Skelly, and Jason are all saying Spikor. Sean, is it Spikor?
It is not Spikor because that was one of my two answers from last night, and I was schooled.
All right, we'll give it a minute here longer. I know there's a bit of a delay, so not Spikor. Yeah, this one's fun. And Sean did not get this one.
No, I would have never guessed this figure. And like looking at him, kind of wish this figure looked like this, to be honest.
When I said, did you see it then?
Yes, but I really wish we had this version. Still, like the figure that we have is definitely not as interesting looking to me as this.
Joe says Cyclone. That is incorrect.
That was my other one from last night. So that would have been a very, very freaky version.
I could see it though with
Cyclone.
the spinning with the spikes there. That could be deadly.
Yes. But you wouldn't have expected the deadly part.
All right, we got one more guess here. We've got Skelly Vader thinks it might be Blast Attack. What do you think, Sean?
Oh. Well, I would think that Skelly Vader got it right.
Absolutely.
Blast Attack.
Congrats, Skelly Vader.
That is Blast Attack.
Yeah, if you look, like I showed Sean afterwards, right up, let me point the right way. See that thing over his right shoulder? That is the trigger for the blast apart. And then if you look right down his chest there, where I know you get distracted by Cyclone, you know, looking round like Cyclone, you can see that there's a seam that goes down and over and over and down all the way down through the crotch. So, yeah, he was originally looking very heroic, and I do like the idea of the spikes on there for shrapnel, like, damage as he blasts apart. So, yeah, it's very, very interesting concept art for what would eventually become Blast Attack. So, good job, Skelly Vader.
Yeah, he could have been a nice... they always do the heroes get one way and the bad guys get the other way, and this could have been a nice... Here's him versus Spikor, you know, if they would have gone that direction. But no.
All right, so I will go, and then I guess from here we'll just go back and forth. So I will do quotations now. So I'm going to play a clip, and you tell us what this is from.
You can't even handle that muscle-bound female She-Ra.
Just a minute. What about the way He-Man handles you, Bone Brain?
Bone Brain? Why, you miserable excuse for a villain.
Silence!
There you go. What episode of one of the series is that from? Sean, do you think you know?
I don't know the name of it, but I actually do remember that episode. So I'll bow out respectfully, knowing that I will never be the Filmation champ that others are when it comes to Masters of the Universe.
Joe Amato says Secret of the Sword. That is incorrect, Joe. Manny Gonzalez says the Christmas special? Absolutely, Manny. It was the Christmas special. And Joe Amato immediately followed up Manny with Christmas special. So he just copied Manny there. So a point for Manny.
I'm just picturing that Joe going, Manny, what do you think it is?
Yes, it was the Christmas special. That's when Horde Prime brings them together and asks them to eradicate the spirit of Christmas. So. And I hope that came... Let me know, guys. Did that come through? Obviously, it came through pretty clear because someone got it. But let me know if I need to tweak anything with that. So, yeah, point to Manny. Congratulations. Sean, what did you think it was from?
For some reason, I thought it was from a She-Ra episode. Because there was, there was like one or two I can think of where it's like, okay, Skeletor and Hordak are both in it with him, and I remember him saying that line in particular. But then it's like, oh, Christmas. I did see that last year. I don't know why that didn't. Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
Filmation is just not my forte compared to other ones. It's just that simple. I need to revoke my geek card. So,
And real quick
all
here,
right. So,
Joe, I understand it. That's what I was saying. I know on people's ends it looks weird because he says on his end it shows himself first. But I got to go with what pops up on my feed here. And I know that's happened to me too, where I think it looks like I typed first, but really someone else did. And we said that at the beginning. Whatever pops up on my phone is what we're gonna go with. Um, Jason Havlick says he never saw the Christmas special because it looked horrendous. Jason, you know what? Honestly, check. I love it. I know Sean doesn't care for it. I don't know if hates is probably a stronger word. It's it's
no,
fun though.
I don't.
It's
I
fun.
don't hate it.
I don't watch. I watch it at least once a year at Christmas time. I don't really dip into it other than that. But it is just a fun adventure that I would say I don't even keep with regular Filmation canon myself. So it's kind of like one of these oddball one-off things, like an Elseworlds type thing. Think of it that way, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's the like when I was a kid, I even was like, they're on Eternia.
Yeah.
Why? What's what?
And
Christmas?
it featured
Why?
Etheria a lot because obviously She-Ra. It was after He-Man was done. They were working on She-Ra, and so it's very She-Ra centric, which I love, but I know some people are not. So, all right. Sorry, Sean. Go ahead. What's your next category here?
All right, we'll step into Eternian History 101 here. So, first question. This magical artifact is activated by the incantation Vir Batak Atra. It is capable of piercing any barrier. What is it?
I should have gotten some music here, some little Jeopardy music or something, you know.
Well, we said that the last time, but we were worried it was going to get copyrights infringement and taken down. maybe some master's version of that. Do that. Do 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 do.
Ooh, is this the one that stumps him? Jason Havlick coming in strong. The Ramstone. Oh, sorry, Sean.
One of my favorite artifacts in 2000.
Is it the Ramstone?
Yes, it is. But yes, and it's also one of my favorite artifacts from 2000X because it can literally knock the living power Grayskull out of Prince Adam while he fights Skeletor, which is awesome.
Congrats, Jason. You're on the board. All right, here we go. Orko's Magic Hat. In the Masters of the Universe minicomics, Sorceress was often miscolored. She was not always seen in her orange and blue Filmation colors. Name the two colors of her outfit that her outfit appeared in outside of the regular orange and blue. So in the minicomics, what color was Sorceress's outfit colored besides the orange and blue? You need both of them. There's two. No, not Jeopardy rules. No one would do that. Oh, what the, who is. No. That'd take way too long. Just give us the answer. Short and sweet. Oh, man, that was a flurry. But on my screen, Skelly Vader was the first with white and pink. And that is absolutely correct. Jason and Joe, you were right there. So, all right. Congrats, Skelly Vader. All of you are right on it. I love this. All right, Sean. All you.
All right. Back to toys. At the age of 12, Mark Taylor first created a barbaric fantasy hero named... ? What was the name of his hero?
And that would obviously serve as inspiration over the years to eventually create He-Man.
Yes.
And if you don't know it, you'll find out when you get the Power and the Honor Foundation book. Jason says Doe, and I don't think that's in response to the question, but okay. Jason Havlick says Vicor.
Unfortunately, no. But it was that.
No,
actually no.
no.
Let's
It
just
was
say
before
no.
Vicor.
I was about to make it more complicated for myself. So.
Yep, this was
I'm
this
great
was
at
the
that.
first concept that he came up with on his own before he started working on something with for Mattel. Skelly Vader also says Vicor. No, sorry, Skelly.
Nope.
Give it a minute longer here. Joe's probably digging. I bet Joe's got a copy of this book. He's probably digging for it furiously right now.
I'm a little surprised Joe doesn't know this one. Because this is one that, I mean, most people could ask me, and I'm not going to say I know everything there is to know, but I think I'd remember that pretty easily off the top of my head.
Well,
but
I know we've
put me in the hot seat,
and we've gone over it before on the show.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to give it 30 seconds, see if anybody else pops up with anything. Or else we'll call this one. Seconds of silence.
Well, I could read my messages to the eBay guy that drove me nuts. that'll be a way of ending 30 seconds right there.
All right, we're gonna call that one there. Sean, what's the answer?
Torak. And his subtitle was The Hero of Prehistory, if I remember correctly.
You do remember correctly. Look at you go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I got a couple things up my sleeve.
Torak. So. That was the hero he came up with as a boy. Throughout the years, he kept drawing and refining it, and eventually someone saw it hanging at Mattel, and they decided to turn it into what would become Vicor and then He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. All right. So now we're back. We're back to quotations. All right, here we go, guys. Mm-hmm. Listen carefully.
Nice trick. What else can you do? Anything I choose. Even stone will obey me.
All right, guys. What episode is that?
I'm gonna say something after the answer is revealed because I'm amused by this.
God, I should hope you. I should hope you do. Manny Gonzalez says Song of Solace. Sean, do you agree?
I do agree.
And Jason was right behind him.
I'm surprised. Jeremy DeWitt should have been showing up for this because he would have got that no problem. The second that whatever the vocals hit there, I was like, "You went there. You actually went there."
Oh, yes. Congrats, Manny. That's another point for you. You are well in... Did Joe? Yeah, I want to make sure I didn't... No, Joe missed that one. Come on, Joe. You got to step it up. You host a show, and you've got no points here. All right, Sean, back to you.
All right. Yeah, Attorney in History 101 again. This character gained great strength drinking the magical water from the Valley of Power. Using a roe as his steed, he sought to conquer all of Eternia. Who is this character?
Who is it? This one you should also know.
Yeah, I knew this one. For my lack of filmation, you're throwing some like little lobs at me today that I'm getting no problem.
Waiting. Actually surprised this one hasn't been gotten yet. Especially with Manny, the self-proclaimed filmation expert over here. I'm just teasing you, Manny.
I'll just say if we had Stephen Bisciotti on here, he might have gotten excited and gone, "Oh my gosh!"
They did inspire me. I got to make up for that lost episode still.
I was thinking maybe that's what we were doing here.
Oof. We may have stumped them. Ugh. All right. Manny says Handivus.
That is, I can't accept that, unfortunately.
And Jason says Rowhead? I don't know.
Don't let us kill another Eternian villager. We already had to kill one of them for Thorak, you know.
Read the question one more time. Just I see some numbers popping up and down here, so I don't know if people are having to go off and back on.
This character gained great strength drinking the magical water from the Valley of Power. Using a roe as a steed, he sought to conquer all of Eternia.
Just a minute longer. I will say Manny was on the right track, but yeah, I agree. It's a little too far off. We don't care about spelling, but awfully quiet from. Now Manny says Hondivus. And Skelly Vader comes in with Danavis.
Oh. And Skelly Vader got it right.
Very
Danavis.
good, Skelly.
And his freaky eyes.
Oh. All right.
He
Congratulations.
is the most unique person on Eternia.
Yeah, sorry, man. You were close. I know you were thinking the same thing, but it was just a little too far off for us there. All right, so where are we? Orko's Magic Hat. Here we go, guys. Ooh, this is a fun one. Where'd I put it? All right. Who did the interior art for the Golden Book, The Magic Mirrors? Not the cover. The interior. Who was the artist? I love this guy. I'm going to give him props every chance I can get. Sean knows that.
Oh, he's one of my absolute favorites.
Now, this is a question I would think Joe would get. Come on, Joe. Where you at?
Yeah.
Show us that knowledge. Who did the interior art on the Golden Book, The Magic Mirrors? Run to your bookshelves. Take a look.
He did many of them. Not all of them. Many.
Yes. Jason says Texera. No, sorry, Jason. It was not Texera.
No, he mostly just did the mini comics.
Skelly Vader says James Holloway. No, sorry. Not James Holloway. A minute longer here. Skellyvator comes back with Fred Carrillo. Absolutely, Skelly.
Man,
It was.
he is a force to. No wonder he used
Fred.
Vader. He's a force to be reckoned with.
Fred Carrillo, an amazing artist. He did a ton of Golden books. He did the giant picture books. He worked on that Whitman publishing origin. Absolutely. All right, hang in there, guys. It's still anyone's game here. We got plenty of questions to go. All right, Sean.
All right, so we're back to toys.
What are we?
And here we go. This Argentinian toy line is one of the most famous knockoff Motu lines. And I'm reading the Motu because you put it there. That's normally against the grain for me. Featuring characters such as Platino, it is highly desired by collectors today. What toy line is it?
Who's got it? Which toy line? Do you collect any knockoffs, Sean?
No, I'll be honest though. This is one of the ones. If they would come out with like the classics versions of them, I would want them anyway. They'd be fun to put on the shelf with the traditional He-Man figures.
And I believe these are the ones that Axel did a nod to on the Battle Cat box.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Skellyvator says top toys. No.
Nope, unfortunately,
Top
that is not
Toys
the answer.
is a manufacturer of toys from Argentina.
Yep.
We're looking for what the name of the line was. Yeah, Top Toys did a lot. Top Toys actually had the license for Masters of the Universe down there. And they made this knockoff line as well.
Mm-hmm. And that's Top Toys. That's the one where the mosquito has the black
blood, yep, and,
liquid in him
that's
instead
where
of
Camo
red.
Con
Yeah.
came from, and there's a few others. Looks like we had a couple people just jump back on according to my viewership. Why don't you read the question one more time, and then I'll do the countdown.
All right. Hang on one sec. Phone locked up. There we go. This Argentinian toy line is one of the most famous knockoff Motu lines. Featuring characters such as Platino, it is highly desired by collectors today. What is the name of the toy line?
Ooh, we got someone new here. Sean says Top Toys did Forza T. What you think?
I'll accept it because we already said it was the Argentinian toy manufacturer.
Forza
so,
T. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Sean, congratulations.
I thought you meant because. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, anyway. I thought you were looking at me like, well, do you want to say? Because they gave us a little more than just the answer. So,
yep.
But no, they got it right.
And
congratulations,
let us know, Sean, if you go under a different name on Facebook, if you already had some points going into this. Thanks for popping in. I hope you know what's going on. You answer some questions, you win some prizes. So let's see here. I'm up. What am I at? Okay. No, quotations. We're at quotations. Here we go. And this is the last quotation here, so listen closely.
Adam, wake up! We need you!
Right.
No sharp objects.
What do you want from us?
Revenge. You humans have gorged yourselves upon plant life for eons, but no more.
All right, what episode is that? I'll turn the light on. It's getting dark over here. All right, there we go. You can see me again now. Oh, nope, Sean doesn't Facebook. That's all right. You can still win today. So all you gotta do is name the episode. Sean says Mike Young Productions The Evil Seed episode. And he forgot the title. Dig down deep, Sean. I know you can come up with it. Manny says Council of Evil. That is incorrect. And Jason Havlick says Evil Seed. That is also incorrect. One of you was closer than the others. Skelly Vader says Evil Seed. Evil Seed was definitely one of the characters in there. Yep. Not the name of the title, though. Now, have you opened your turtle, Sean, or are you keeping Leo in the box, too?
So far, I've kept them in the box. So I'm debating what I want to do, because now that I got Leo, it's like the urge is getting even worse than it already was.
Sean says it's been so long, he's beginning to forget episode titles. Well, then that just...
Or you're
that
like
means
me.
you need to go back and
Didn't
watch
register
them
to
again.
begin with.
I will say Mike Young's probably my favorite series to just pop in and just watch here and there, or even to watch all the way through. Number one, it's so much shorter. Okay. Council of Evil Part 2, no. Jason says Bad Seed, no. And Manny pops up with Orko's Garden, which is correct. Very good, Manny.
Well played. Well played, Manny.
And you know what, Sean? You're getting a point too. Why? Because I can. It's my show. Jason, I'm going to give Jason a point too, because you know what? He's been in it this whole time. He's been popping in. So, Jason gets a point, Sean gets a point, Manny gets a point. All right. Next up.
All right, let's go to the final question in Attorney History 101.
For as much as Manny derides Mike Young Productions, though, he's the one who pulled that out. I'd just like to point that out. So maybe it's maybe you love it a little bit more than you let on there, Manny.
There's some irony. There's some irony here. All right, here we go. Name 2 characters that have appeared in all 3 He-Man cartoon series: Filmation, New Adventures, and MYP. That is not He-Man or Skeletor. So name 2 characters that have appeared in all 3 Filmation, New Adventures, MYP cartoons that are not He-Man or Skeletor.
You know what's funny is I'm opening Leo right now, and I haven't even opened Raphael yet, which amuses me. But Leo's here, and Raphael's down in the basement. So. Oh yeah, you gotta open these.
That's my boy. That's my boy right there. You can say what you want, but he's still my boy.
All right. Sean says Tila. That is only one character, though. Jason says Sorceress, Tila, and Man-at-Arms.
Well, Jason, you did name 2 of them. Tila and Sorceress are definitely all 3 series covered as well as He-Man and
I think
Skeletor.
Jason gets the point
So
there.
Jason should get the point.
Sean did just... Skelly Vader popped in with Too Bad and Beastman. Sean... Sean threw out their Man-at-Arms. Flog turned into Man-at-Arms and New Adventures. And for pulling out... Now, he didn't really turn into Man-at-Arms, but there is one where he's... I don't know if you've ever seen that, Sean, but... There is an episode where Flog's got like a device that changes appearance, and there is one where he's got like a helmet on like Man-at-Arms, and he looks similar to Man-at-Arms.
Oh.
So I'm giving Sean another point just for that, just for pulling that out.
I would give him the point because you only had me watch the first episode. We haven't even traversed that place again for quite a while.
And I like giving out points if you guys haven't been able to tell. Very, very deep pull, Sean. Very nice.
Yeah.
And he did throw Sorceress out there too, so that was also yeah. Both Jason and Sean on that one because we like giving out points.
There you go.
Do you have any questions left, or is it just me?
That's you. Yep, I just got through all mine.
Okay, so here's what we've got going on here. So, yeah, the hologram. He looked like a hologram. Yep. I don't know what you were thinking, Skelly Vader. You were excluding New Adventures even in your answer, even though Sean said it twice. But here's what we got going on here. So Skelly Vader is on top with 7. Manny's in second with 5. And then Jason and Sean are both tied at 3. So for this last question, I'm thinking we just throw it to Jason and Sean. Because, yeah, they've got theirs locked up.
Sure.
And, yeah. Our show.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Tiebreaker.
So this one's just for Jason and Sean to decide their tie. Name 3 episodes that appeared on the Best of He-Man DVD. So there are 10 episodes on the Best of He-Man DVD. Name 3 of them. Jason and Sean. Whoever gets it first will take 3rd place. Oh. They did his back a little weird. He's got like straight straps going down there, which is a little odd. But I think they had to.
I was watching some reviews. Yeah. I was watching some reviews and people were complaining that his the sheaths were a little lower than they should be compared to the vintage figure.
Beautiful though. I love that they went painted. I mean, they got the plain ones too. But
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
Jason. Let's see here. He's got Problem with Power. Check. Dragon's Gift. Nope. How is Dragon's Gift not on here? This was rigged. And Origin of the Sorceress. Wow. So he got 2 out of 3. Sean says Evil Seed. Check. Tale of Teela. No, Tale of Teela is a mini comic. And Problem with Power. So you both got 2. Somebody hit me with one more.
Type.
All right, Sean hits Into the Abyss. There you go. Congratulations, Sean.
Oh, congratulations.
Sean coming up. And he throws Prince Adam No More, which is also on there. All right. I'm going to read off all the episodes real quick here. So it was Evil Seed, Quest for He-Man. Yeah. Prince Adam No More.
That's one of yours.
Diamond Ray of Disappearance. And Teela's Quest. Into the Abyss. Teela's Triumph. to save Skeletor, the problem with power, and origin of the sorceress. So, here's what we got. Oh, and Mark Taylor jumped in here. Welcome, Mark. A little bit late, but thanks for joining us. I'm going to give you a point just for showing up.
Mm-hmm.
You get a point. Love it. So here's what we're going to do. So obviously, Skelly Vader, congratulations. You're our first place winner. Manny Gonzalez, you're our second place winner. Then we've got Sean with the Superman S. Sean, is this you? His name's Sean, and he's got a Superman's S as his little avatar there. Are you typing down there as we're recording?
I honestly believe this is like he and I should be friends because I like his style already based on that. But no, mine is
so
not
Sean
Superman
is third. Then we've got Jason. And then Mark jumped in, and then we got. So here's what we're gonna do. So Skelly Vader, you've got first pick of the 3 prizes. Manny, you've got second, and Sean, you've got third. And then Jason, Mark, and Joe, shoot me your address. You're gonna get door prizes just for coming on, just for participating. Jason, you got quite a few right, so your door prize is gonna be a little bit bigger. Don't tell the other guys. Shh. Skelly Vader says, "Woohoo! I've never won anything trivia related." And if you want to, we're gonna go on to questions here, guys. But Skelly Vader and Manny and Skelly Vader, if you want to throw out which of the prizes you want, go ahead, and maybe we can get that all sorted by the end of the episode. If you just want to PM me later, that's fine. We'll do it later. We'll do it there too. And then Sean, you're not on Facebook. Are you on Instagram? If you're not on Facebook or Instagram, let me know, and I'll drop an email down below that we can email and get it figured out. So, while they're doing that, Sean, you got a question for us, maybe? All right, you go.
I'm looking them up. Let's see. I'm on the Facebook group.
I tell you what, guys, if you are also Turtle fans and you are not on the Super 7 line, you need to get on it. Yeah, I guess they're a little lower, but you can.
They are a little lower, but you can reposition somewhat.
Well up higher, so it's not make or
break.
The
nice thing that I like is they're embedded though, like they're embedded a little bit where one goes over the other without you having to adjust them the way that we had when we were kids. Absolutely. Which I thought was cool. So
sorry, real
let's
quick.
see.
I know I keep cutting you off with the live chat. Yeah, sorry, Mark, you didn't make it. Yeah, jump in the next time. Like I said, Mark, you still get a door prize just for showing up. So I know you're on Facebook. Just shoot me a PM after this is over with your address. We'll get something fun out to you. Skelly Vader wants the PowerCon She-Ra, so that's his. So Manny, you're up next. You can choose for the Mega Construct set, or the Power in the Honor Foundation book. So let me know which one you want, Manny. And then Sean will get the leftover. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions for us, throw them down in the chat right now. Sean's got one, at least from the Facebook page. But yeah, if you start typing them now, that way we got them, and we'll keep going until we peter out or you guys peter out. Go ahead, Sean. Sorry for keep interrupting.
Well, the question post that I brought up a couple days ago on the group, the one question was actually from Manny, and he asked, "When are we going to discuss DC animated toons?"
You know, we talked about it. Honestly, at this point, I think we might throw an episode here or there, but I think for the most part, we're gonna want to keep Legends of Grayskull Masters related. That is something we have talked about doing for the Patreon listeners, which we are gonna get that set up and going here within the month. And I think that right now would probably be the best place for that, unless something comes out or happens, or we're just in an oddball mood. So, no real plans.
Yeah.
But that's something more likely to see on Patreon, which we'll be getting more info about that out later in the month as we get that sorted and get some stuff made up for you guys before we really start pimping it out.
And the cool thing about Patreon is if it's non-Masters related and you want to hear us talking about it, throw ideas at us. We have a couple that we're going to start and get the ball rolling that way, but I think some of that content would be fun to have it be fan interest, and we can jump into some of those and have a discussion about it. That can be open range. Whatever you want to do, have a field day, and we can be a little less family oriented on that as well, because I know one of the topics that Matt actually would like to discuss is going to be a little more barbaric. I'll give you a little hint there than He-Man, for instance. So you're going to have a chance to have it be a little less unfiltered than filtered.
We're not worried. We know if you're following us there that you can handle where we're going.
Yeah. And it's not like we're all that, amazingly bad here, but it'll be a little less tame there, I'm sure. And then another really good question that was brought up that was not a part of the question post. Josh, I want to say Rasmussen.
That's a big one.
I'm hoping I got that right.
Let's hold on to that a second. Sean did post his trivia question for us, so let me do that first.
Oh, cool. Let's do it.
He says, Hero has multiple names across various canons and pre-production material. Can you name them all? Okay, so...
Okay.
Obviously, Hero. His alter ego was Gray. And I'm assuming you only mean Powers of Grayskull Hero. But just in case we're not, I'll go through the other Hero as well. So obviously Hero, his alter ego was Gray. I know in the early concept for Powers of Grayskull, his name was actually Grayskull, and he actually had the G on his chest like Titus comes with, and that's why Titus has a G on his chest. That's all I can think of for Powers of Grayskull Hero. Sean?
I mean, when it comes to the cartoons, I know like you actually know a little more than I do on that. And then if you want to go classics line, they called him Ro on that.
That's right.
And if you also talk about Hero 2, his name's Dare, but I'm thinking you want to just stick with Hero 1, which was the almost released but never released until in the last couple years version of
I forgot about
the main character if they rebooted or revamped, I want to say.
Hero, Grayskull, Ro, and Gray. Did we miss any, Sean? Let us know.
Yeah.
He also says Lord Grayskull, as we saw in the Super 7 mini comic. Oh, see, I never got the Super 7 figure, so I never saw that little insert that came with it. So we missed Lord Grayskull. It's actually funny because when I was flipping through coming up with our trivia questions, I happened across the one about him being originally called Grayskull, and that almost made it as a trivia question for this. So, he also says that he was known as Justin in some of the preliminary notes. That's a new one. I have not heard that one before. So, look at that. Even we don't get them all. Put us on the spot.
No,
we're just very well prepared every episode.
And hey, it's okay. That is actually something that that question I was about to read it brings up. So,
all right,
yeah.
You got any other ones or?
No, that was it as far as I know. Unless there's something else I don't know about. Was there any from YouTube?
From YouTube, so.
That you might have had? Let's see.
Oh, and
I'm
Sean
just double
says he
checking
was
real
also
quick.
known as Jack in the Filmation pitch. So, oh,
Oh, there
the
is one
one where
more.
the one that James Eatock uncovered, was that the was it Hero in the Land of Mystery or something like that? I forgot about that one. How weird.
I did find one more. I don't want to. I don't want to leave Manny in the dust on this one because I know there was one episode that I missed his question and we never went back to it. So he posted just in general and he said, "I've not done this here yet, so I thought I'd ask, what are your favorite quotes in the '80s He-Man
Oh, quotes, boy.
tune?" And then he gave a few of his. He gave a few of his, but basically, yeah. What are our favorite quotes from the Filmation cartoon?
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, you're
Oh,
gonna be
Land
that
of
guy.
Legend. Sorry, Sean, you're right. Hero in the Land of Legend, not the Land of Mystery. Okay. Quotes. God, I didn't have time. I should have looked at this one apparently. Uh, yeah. You got anything on top of your head?
Yeah, I got. Surprisingly, I do. So one of my favorites actually comes from. Actually, a couple of my favorites come from the same episode, which is one of my absolute favorites, no matter what. I love every time Ram
Yeah.
Man tries to pronounce Shakoti. And my favorite one has to be when he calls her Shabubi, and then she screams, Shakoti, you fool! And he goes, Dah! Right back at her as a response. And I still to this day I get chills every time I think of the moment when the living darkness is awakened and Stanlin comes
Yeah.
out with the power sword. You know, Shakoti, stop it! And she shoots him with the her dark power, and he yells, "Not
Yeah.
afraid!" And he deflects
Yeah,
the
that's a good
bolt and
one.
frees He-Man because that was the closest I ever felt watching it as a kid. Going, that's a kid helping He-Man. I feel like I'm helping today because I'm a kid watching the
Oh,
show, and I mean,
right.
just going very simple.
Yeah.
By the power of Grayskull, I have the power as done by John Irwin. That is the best, most awesome way you could possibly imagine that incantation, as far as I'm concerned. Cam Clark, I'm very sorry, but John Irwin, it does take the medal on
Yeah.
that one for me.
I'd have to go well that whole sequence with He-Man where he disappears in Diamond Ray of Disappearance and he's over the castle and
Oh
the
yeah.
sorceress, He-Man, you must
Mm-hmm.
crush the diamond. Yeah, that brings chills to me every
Yeah.
time. Um
And what I love is it ended on the He-Man
right.
song fading out, and they have that
Oh,
that dramatic
that
little
whole
bit
end
of
scene.
music, and then all of a sudden it starts right up again, and it's like, ooh, you got that second wind coming. It's
Anytime that He-Man
that part
theme
gets
kicks in, I mean that's just amazing.
sure.
Sean throws out there from Secret of the Sword, Skeletor Tyrandor, come in, you royal boob. um,
Well, heck, I mean, Secret of the Sword, the first time Dora does the incantation,
oh
still
yeah.
gets me misty
Oh, the
eyed.
whole
There's no way
sorceress
around
speech
that.
to Adora. I mean, you never
Yeah,
knew your mother,
yeah,
and you never knew your father, but you
yeah,
also had a twin brother.
brother.
Uh, Manny is
Yeah.
Manny is surprised you didn't
And
pull
then
out. Anyone want to buy a used bolo?
I was about to say it, but yes, that actually, like, I wanted to give Matt a chance to answer it since I threw two in there. But yeah, every time, and I think part of the reason why I love that one so much is that was the first episode I got to watch after not seeing the
Yeah.
show for 10 years. And that moment in particular still gets me. Just that him breaking the fourth wall like Deadpool. Anybody want to buy a used bolo?
Sean throws out there again. Hordak knew you were destined for something, though he did not know exactly what. Another awesome Secret of the Sword
Hmm.
quote. Oh yeah, great stuff. Great
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Jason throws out when Skeletor was explaining what would happen to He-Man in Quest for He-Man. Trapjaw looked legitimately scared. Yeah, Quest for He-Man, just a great episode. Man, what high stakes. First 2 minutes, Skeletor blasts He-Man out through the universe to some random planet. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Uh,
What was the time? Is it the time corridor? The one with the disc that when the sorceress
it'll
explains what
spin
it
and
does, it keeps
spin.
spinning
Yeah.
and it gets larger. Yeah, yeah. Like I just love that quote of her because every time I hear it, now that I'm an adult, my mind gets really dirty, but I can't help it because it'll spin faster and faster and grow larger and larger. And it's like I hear that and I go, "Oh, sorceress, this is why I liked you over Teela sometimes."
Sean says the all-time best quote is Duncan when he says, "Fire could burn your toys." I I vaguely remember that PSA. Yes,
Uh,
that's what we would be worried about, not our family, but it's gonna burn your toys.
mhm.
Good times.
I still have the actual like, okay, how do I get down to the basement fast enough to grab my
Right.
He-Man and Battle Cat if something bad ever happened?
What are the two? What do you grab if there's a fire? Not the kids, not anything else. I'm gonna grab my classics.
Well, my assumption is, and this is me being me, my assumption is I've already gotten them to safety. I'm running back in there though, and that's like absolute. Got to get it
Yeah,
out of
you
there. How
can
am I
say
doing
that's your
this? You know.
assumption, but we'll see. But yeah, great quotes. If I don't know why my mind's not working too well, but it's not. So I could probably come up with more on a regular night. But, all right. So if you guys got anything else, throw them down there. We're gonna go on the big one here. Go ahead.
All right. 2 days ago, Josh Rasmussen. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, Josh.
I
Can you
assumed
guys explain?
Rasmussen, but I could be wrong.
Or Rasmussen. Okay, Rasmussen or Rasmussen. So either way, I got it covered.
Rassen something.
Can you guys explain what is canon for Motu? It seems like every time they try to revive the line, we get new backstories. Yes, I know the main goal is to sell toys, but having a coherent story to help sell them would also help. And then we did have a few comments back.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say real quick here. Sorry, it was Justin, right? Or Josh. God, I feel like
Josh.
Sorry, Josh. I feel like a jerk. Josh. The short and simple answer, and I know it came up in the comments. It's all canon. If it was released by Mattel through a comic, mini comic, book, cartoon, it's all canon. That's the short answer. Go ahead, Sean. Read off some of the comments that were in there.
All right. So Yuka actually said that Josh should check out a wonderful book, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Character and Compendium Guide.
Yes.
Not saying that just because I wrote in it, but really think every fan deserves to have it on their shelf. And then there was a little back and forth with him. And then, let's see, Paul Guyton, he said, I look on the different continuities as the different Earths in Marvel.
Absolutely. Yep. Good way to think about it.
Van Davis. Exactly, yeah. And then Van Davis, basically you're right. Every time they reinvigorate the line, they tweak the story. Originally, it was the first several mini-comics version. Then things were retconned to match the plots of the cartoon series and mainstream comics. Then the 2000X show reimagined and modernized some of the plot, adding and changing a few points. Classics came along and tried to fit everything into a cohesive timeline, embracing as much of all the different versions as possible. The comic, He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse, took a different approach. Yeah, I know. And basically said each canon was its own dimension, reality, and you could hop across like Jet Li in the one. So that's...
Go ahead, Sean.
Well, I was just going to say that's probably the bane of the existence of a fan like me. And like my version of this is always going to draw from the first things that I ever knew, which pretty much anybody, when you get introduced to a fandom, whatever it is that grabs you the most is usually the thing that makes you passionate about.
Yes.
And my version is always going to be a hybrid of, the filmation, because honestly, the transformation sequence was so it was such a huge essential moment in every episode of that show, and the theme song kicking in, the actual everything about it made you go, this has to now be canon no matter what you looked at before. But I still love the barbaric side and the wasted landscape stuff of the mini comics and the original versions of it, like the Alcala stuff, leading into Filmation. And then I still actually incorporate some of 2000X into my ideas as well. So it's all about headcanon, unfortunately,
And
when it comes to that.
that's kind of the problem is that every time they do come out with a new iteration, they not only come out with a new iteration, but as we've shown here, and if you're a newer listener, go back and check out, because we've covered the early DC miniseries. We've covered quite a bit on that transition from the first 4 mini comics to Filmation. And even when Mattel first introduced this property, they were spinning their wheels. They were reinventing as they went along. They came out with that first 8-back of characters, but they kept kind of reinventing and tweaking the whole way. And I think that's the biggest problem, is that from the get-go, there wasn't a solid canon. So yes, if you want to know if something's canon, like you said, check out this Character Guide and World Compendium and the supplement that's coming out soon, hopefully, because if it's canon, it'll be in here. The trick is, like they said, there are different canons. And I think the biggest thing that Mattel needs to do is to come up with a baseline. And I've said this before on the show, a certain set of rules that are good across all canons. And it can just be the basics, Castle Grayskull holds the ultimate power. Adam becomes He-Man, Adora becomes just the basics. Because there are certain things I think that should not be changed. Can you play around with like Fisto and Man-at-Arms relationship to each other? Yeah, okay. But to me, can you play around with Adam and Adora's relationship to each other? No. Like, I think they need to sit down and come up with a set of rules that just apply universally. Because I think everybody does that. Even Marvel and DC, if you get Batman, he's going to be an orphan. He's going to be rich. He's going to have a butler that helps him. Like, there are those certain things that are always there. Unless it's just some crazy Elseworlds tale. But, I mean, I think that's the thing that Masters has lacked, is that they won't set the basic principles. They want to play with everything.
And I think out of all of the lines, and even like what you're saying, okay, when you have the quintessential origins of Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, whoever, they were set down by one person.
Yes.
There wasn't necessarily this corporate, okay, everybody throw ideas into the pot.
Maybe a couple, usually a writer-artist duo. I mean, but yeah.
Basically, but it's like the voice is one person is all I'm trying to say. It's not like a corporate, we got to figure something out using these figures as the basis of our line. So, you have Siegel and Schuster doing Superman's origin, Stan Lee and Ditko doing Spider-Man, Bob Kane, and Bill Finger. I don't care what anybody says. Bill Finger was in there doing Batman. And even toy lines like G.I. Joe and Transformers, G.I. Joe had Larry Hama working behind the scenes to make that work. And Transformers had Jim Shooter from Marvel back in those days. And then Bob Badiansky, I want to say was his name, was the one that was creating a lot of the character ideas, the names, and I want to say the bios he was working on for the Transformers. And it's like you have these here's this point person, and this is the one shepherding this idea. And a lot of the time, the idea is a very nebulous idea that can be massaged depending what the story is. And Masters has that ability too, but Masters in the actual creation, like you said, there was never a legit this is it kind of an origin, because they had so many options. They were scatter shoot or shotgunning this, trying to come up with stuff. Last episode episode before that, 2 episodes.
Episode 53, the Whitman origin. Yeah, that's a whole different way it could have gone.
Yeah. So I think here's the thing, in my opinion, about it though, is what I love is it doesn't make you less creative to enjoy Masters. True. Because you can almost do one from column A, one from column B, and just make it your own headcanon. Or you could follow here, okay, this is what Filmation did. I like Filmation, I'm going to run with this. I like what the mini comics did, I'm going to run with this. 2000X, it reinvigorated the line, and to this day, there are people our age going, how did I miss this? And they're watching it and going, hey, this story is really cool, and it has what's familiar, but they're making it into this cohesive story that's stretching, the whole series. And I mean, it's difficult, and I can understand completely how it frustrates me sometimes, because the version of Masters that I might get if they bring the line back or bring the cartoons back might not be something that really like, ooh, this is what I've always wanted to see. But I also am the guy going, I still want to sit through some new stuff, because Lord knows we haven't had the new stuff, and let's see what they do with it. And if they don't do something that makes me excited, I still have the stuff I enjoy too. It's not going to erase my childhood. It's not going to erase my fandom. So
real quick here, Jason threw out a comment. The barbarian beginnings of He-Man started all, but for Filmation's character development and world building, good and bad, really got me hooked. And yes, absolutely. I think that's, no matter what people say about Filmation nowadays, I've said this before too, I think they, sorry, got distracted there. No matter what people say about Filmation nowadays, is that really is what catapulted it. I don't think it would have been as big as it was without Filmation. Sean says that the multiverse makes sense, but it shouldn't be so vast. You should only have about 5 or 6 different Eternias. Think of it more of an oscillating universe. I agree. It does not every little iteration of He-Man needs to be its own Eternia, and they don't even need to cross over. Honestly, they just need to, coexist. But like I said, I think Mattel really needs to sit down and make some tent poles where they go. This is what it is, and we're gonna do just that. Where you're not gonna betray these few things.
I think the hardest part of that, though, is this is about 40 years now, and there are people who are dug in on what they love, and if they do that now to the fan base, it's probably going to make a bigger problem than it needs to be, because I'm kind of Mr. Look, my version of this is my headcanon. I appreciate that they do have all the different cartoons. I appreciate the comics. I appreciate the Golden Books, mini comics. But there's always going to be my headcanon. That's why I love this line. Right. And I'm using these characters to represent what I've always thought worked in my head. But there are other people out there who are going to be livid if they say, you mean this doesn't apply anymore? I mean, look at how the Star Wars fandom reacted to here's all these fan-created novels over how long, like 15 years or whatever. Well, then all of a sudden Lucas is like, well, unless I say it's canon, it doesn't matter anymore. Then people are like, well,
that's the thing. Those weren't even fan-created novels. Those were legitimately licensed novels that Disney stepped in and said, nope, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah. So and it's like, do we really need to do that to a fan base that, like, we are like teetering around the fan base of like Thundercats, where it's like, they're worried that a toy line isn't going to be enough to substantiate itself. They need to do all this other stuff, and it's like Thundercats is kind of like right down there with us in certain ways, where it's like, the fans are loving this stuff, but they're not a huge amount to support it. They need new blood, and how are you going to bring that in there?
Hopefully
Yeah.
these cartoons will do it. But yeah, so hopefully that helps a little bit, Josh. Like I said, everything's canon. Nothing can be canon when they come out with the next thing. And I know we're all looking forward to seeing what they do with Revelation and what they do with the new He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So
Sure.
let's see here. I had some other stuff pop up. Oh, here's a fun one. I probably inspired Sean by playing with my Leonardo here. Who would win in a fight? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Jitsu and Ninjor? Well, the Turtles would, because they're the good guys, and the good guys always win.
Yeah, I'd have to say the Turtles on that one too, because I'm trying to think. Ninjor doesn't have like mystical powers per se. He's just a kind of a ninja. Right. And Jitsu's just, he's a warrior, and he's got that big, the chopping hand, but he's still just a warrior at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. Jitsu. Plus, it's 4-2. I mean, it'd be a good fight though. So I'd watch it. But yeah, the Turtle Boys would take that. Would win that.
Now,
yeah.
Get all the Super 7 Turtles, and get the classics Ninjor, and get the Jitsu, and just go nuts and see what happens once all the Turtles are finally delivered to the fans.
Yeah, in like 2 years, knowing Super 7.
By the end of the year, I'm hoping. We'll see how that works.
I will say, though, I wanted Leonardo. I got the full set. I might be in trouble here, Sean. Because I was thinking about, letting some of these other guys go, but looking at Bebop here.
Yeah, Bebop is a monster. He is a huge one.
He's monstrous.
Well, and I like that about the line. The Turtles are not necessarily the 7-inch figures. And I like that because they're teenagers. Yeah. They're still growing. And so like Shredder is bigger than Leonardo, and Bebop is huge and all. I like that. I like that they're not they're the baseline. If they're bigger than the Turtles, that's how big we need to get them or whatever. So.
Well, yeah, and it's just the detail. The skulls on him look amazing. He's got like a leg brace thing going on that I didn't look at the pictures too closely. I just noticed
that was on the original figure, but it was all black.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, there were details on the original figure, but it was never painted to take notice of it. Yeah.
I might be keeping this whole wave. I don't know.
Who else is in there? Who else is the other? It's Bebop, Shredder, Leo, Mutagen Man, and that's right.
Yeah. Back to questions. Let's see. Most people are agreeing the Turtles would win it. Mark Taylor says, but they'd lose the first bout and then decide to work together properly. Yeah, just like any team up crossover. Yep, they get their turtle shells kicked firsthand. Jason Havlick, do you guys hate the last She-Ra cartoon by DreamWorks? I like their takes on Shadow Weaver and Double Trouble, despite a lot of the bad stuff. I hated the ending of The Last She-Ra. And that is also, check out our previous episodes because we covered that. That was another live episode. People ate that one up.
Mm-hmm.
There was some good storytelling in there. I think they got too worried about hidden agendas and ticking certain boxes, I think, is their biggest problem. And they got away from the storytelling. Because I think at the core, I think there was a decent enough story there, but they focused on the wrong parts of it. It should have been a fantasy action adventure, and instead it was the Best Friend Squad.
Yeah. I was kind of offended when we got answers to things and the answers were not as interesting as what they might have or should have been, in my opinion. And Like, there was from season one of the things that kept me going to watch the series was, well, what is Grayskull to this?
Right.
Because if we're not bringing He-Man into this world, and then when you find out, well, that's a squadron,
Right.
and it's for the, it's like, why would you be drawing the power from a squadron's honor? Like, that bugged me. And then anybody who shipped the whole Adora and Catra thing, that bugged me to no end because
Right.
you needed at least one or two more seasons of Catra being a good person for me to actually go, okay, she's
Right.
better, and now I can accept this new relationship. And it wasn't an issue of, it wasn't an issue of Adora and Catra being a couple. I don't
No.
care. My issue is that is an extremely toxic person you're dealing with who needs way more help.
Right.
And that bugged the crap out of me that so many people were romanticizing that, where I'm like, no, if I was in a relationship like that, people would tell me, get the hell out of it. If my daughter was in a relationship like that, or my son, I'd be like, get the hell away from this person until they get actual qualified help to make them get on the better
And
path.
there was no earning
that
it. It was
bugged me.
yeah, it was just they saved her
No,
from
there was
more
no.
crime, and all of a sudden she's good, and we can love her, and
Yes.
it's um yeah, and you know what? And the thing is, and I know we said it back in that episode, so I don't want to repeat too much. Hopefully, you'll go check out that one. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but you can find it. But the biggest thing is we had a lot of filler episodes in the first few seasons. Like they could have had a better ending if they had gotten rid of some of those earlier filler episodes. Me personally, like, it took me forever to get through season 2 because it just started off so slowly, and I'm like, nothing is happening, nothing is happening, nothing is happening. And once you got to the end of the series, you're like, man, we really could have used those 5 or 6 episodes that were filler throughout the season to really get to where we need to be at the end of this. And Jason agrees, Catra was not a good redemption story. No, it just, they decided she needed to be redeemed at the end, so she was redeemed.
Yeah,
so,
and a lot of that series for me also was like the episodes of them learning about the first ones.
Mm-hmm.
That was the stuff that I'd rather have had them invested in for the storytelling more than the best friend squad, more than all the other stuff they were doing. It's like it should have been them trying to do the first one's tech to go up against the Horde because the Horde is a problem. And instead it was, here's a prom.
Yeah.
Like that was never something even on the original Shiro. Why are we doing a prom episode? That sort of stuff, and it was aimed at the demographic it was aimed at, but people like us were going to be the ones curious to watch it because it involves something from our nostalgia. And it's like, why does jelly and steak not taste good together? Like it didn't coalesce properly.
Yeah, Jason liked the redesign.
It had potential.
Of Double Trouble. Yeah, there were some cool designs in there too. Honestly, I probably would have enjoyed the whole series more if they had just made it its own IP and if they hadn't attached She-Ra to it. If they just done their own thing, because at the end of the day, that's what it felt. That's what it felt like. There just wasn't enough to tie it back for me. So.
I'd say real quick. I mean, I loved Mara.
Yeah.
She was one of my favorite things about that series, and I thought that was a story I would have rather been watching than the actual show. And real quick, the redesign of She-Ra on the final season was probably like the best thing they could have done.
And the sword, I like the sword too. When she figured out she didn't need a sword, so then she made her own sword.
That was weird.
But
the
design was cool, and I did like that she grew into, a more familiar She-Ra. And Light Hope, that's a character that was on there from the first episode, because she's the one who led her to the sword, and we never really found out, like, was she just an evil robot? Was something messed up? What, it just, lots of questions at the end there. What's up, Zen Brown? You're catching us at the end, but thanks for joining us. You have to go back and check out the rest of it.
The other really quick thing that bugged me a lot about that series was at that point when she created her own sword. You mean to tell me that she does for the honor of Grayskull and doesn't finally yell, "I am Shira," because she finally created a sword out of nothing?
Yes.
She should have flat out owned that title at that point, and that should have been how she transformed the rest of the series. And unfortunately, we didn't even get that much.
Right.
So yeah.
Exactly. So, all right, guys. I think that's about an episode here. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Zen Brown, go back and check out the rest of the episode. Thanks for everyone who participated. Manny, let me know which of the 2 remaining prizes you want, and then I'll send the last one to Sean. And I just want to thank everybody. It's been a great year. We're looking forward to many more years. Yeah. Sean, what you got?
I got my ultimate team, man. And he has been with us the whole episode. And he's fading into Grayskull, so I got to move him over here. But anyway, yes. Represent. Actually, I got both of them. There we go. He-Man and Skeletor representing for that episode.
There you go.
There they are. All right. So.
All right, guys.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, thanks for tuning in. Remember, we're on the road to 200 subscribers. Last I looked, we were at like 157. So we're getting close there. So make sure you're liked, subscribed, share it if you want, ring that bell so you're notified if we go live again. And as soon as we hit 200 subscribers, we're giving away another copy of the Power and the Honor Foundation, and we're giving away an Origin Scare Glow. So make sure you're subscribed, screenshot that, and send it to us either on the Facebook page. We're on Instagram now, Legends of Grayskull Podcast. And I do have an email that I'm going to drop down in the comments here for Sean, especially because he's not on Facebook, so that he can get a hold of us with his address so we can send that all out. Yep. Oh, Jason's not on Facebook or Instagram either. Yeah. After we're done here, down in the description, I'll drop our Legends of Grayskull email link, so you guys can get a hold of us. Manny, maybe we'll go live some more. We do like doing live episodes now and again. They don't work out every week, but when they do, it's a lot of fun. Thanks everybody. We appreciate it, and